we're going to take a quick look at how to create content on the city. So you're always going to start up at the Start a New Post link. So we're going to click on that. We're going to start with the topic right now. Whenever you're creating content, you're going to first need to select the group that the content will be created in. So I'm going to select the Downtown Community Group. We're going to give this topic a title, and then we're going to put in some relevant information. Content can also be shared on the city to other groups and to other people. You can share to more than one person or more than one group at a time. And you can also publicize this on the City Plaza, which you can find more information about on the help desk. We have some advanced options as well. Men only would make it visible to men in this group only. Leadership would make it visible to only leaders, managers, and volunteers, anyone who's kind of in a non-participant role in the group. Priority overrides email settings. If someone's email is set to a daily digest, the priority will override that and send them an email like they were new things. And limit email is kind of the reverse of priority. If someone had new things selected in the group, it would push it over to the daily digest. No responses limits the responses to the post so that no one can add responses after it's been created. So if this would be just an announcement and it didn't need discussion, you might choose to limit the responses. This last little section down here, who can see this, you can see it says 2 groups on the city, up to 15 people. If I delete some of these, you can see this automatically updates. And if we delete this group, you can see it changes a lot of this. We can also uncheck the public or the publicize on the City Plaza, and it deletes the Plaza thing. If we uncheck this entirely, you can see it's just this group. So this is kind of a helpful auto update. We're going to take a look at events now. If I select my group, give this event a title, I'm actually going to make this a potluck event. And we'll say it's going to take place on the 23rd. We'll have it start at 5 o'clock and end at 11 o'clock. Be a long potluck. We can change the location. And we'll put in our address. And then we'll use this address. We're not going to go over request a resource. That's primarily used in the children's module. If you have any questions on that, just kind of look at the children's module resources, and that'll answer those questions. We can make this event repeating if we wanted to. Go weekly, every other week, forever, or at an end date, or a number of times. We could do that. I'm actually going to just leave this as once. And then we put in any details for the potluck. So add that in. We could add items to bring. We could add roles. And then again, we have our ability to share or our advanced options that we could check off on this. Now, one thing to know about the events is if you hit no response, then you cannot RSVP for this event. So, for instance, if we clicked no response, these roles would not be able to be filled because no one could RSVP. So, just something to consider. I'm going to go ahead and post this so you guys can see it. You can see our address comes up. We've got a little Google map. This is an interactive link for the address. We've got our items to bring, and then we also have our roles that can be fulfilled. So if we assign a role, we could do that to anybody who's in the group. That could be assigned, or anybody who says yes, they're coming. You can say how many people, and then what they're going to bring, and they can volunteer for that game coordinator as well. So we'll respond for Israel. And now we can see there's 2 people that say they're coming, me, and I'm bringing one other person, what they're bringing. We also have up here at the top the ability to print this. We can edit this event because we created it or because we have group admin privileges. We can send message to invitees, people who said yes, no, maybe, or no response. And we could also delete this event if we wanted to. Finally, on every post, there are the stats, and you can see how many people have viewed this, how many times it's been sent out in email, things like that. If you want more information on the stats, kind of check out the help desk. All right, let's go back to our downtown community group. We're going to go back to start a new post, and this time we're going to look at a prayer. So we're going to select our group, and we're going to put in our prayer request. And we have all the same options here. We've got allow this post to be shared, advanced options. The only thing that is missing under our advanced options is our no response. We can also come down here, just as in the other ones, which we haven't touched on, is there add a file. And if we add a file, we could browse and put a picture or text documents, anything that we wanted to. Let's go ahead and post this one so we can look at a difference between prayers and topics. So as we post this prayer request, you can see we can feature this topic, we can unfollow this prayer because we're a leader, we can feature it. Anybody can unfollow something. But as we're responding to this, you can see, just like in a topic, we could respond to this and it would come up as a response. If we hit that reply, you can see how this will pop in here. And that just kind of comes in underneath here. But if we do this as an update, it updates up here in the original. So even if 6, 7, 8, 10, 100 people had replied, this would go to the very top and that would be an update of the prayer request. So that's unique to the prayer requests. And again, we can edit this prayer, delete this prayer. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. And we're going to look at the final content type, which is a need. And we're going to go to the downtown community group, and we're going to say it would be a meals for the Smiths, etc. So you put all in relevant information here that someone would need to know. You can add a task or an item, so we could say meal for 4, and then we can give this a date. We can change the location. Now you can see the default location would be whatever the default location for this group is. You could put their address in if you wanted to as well, so I'm just going to use the default location. We could share it a lot of times with the meals, and needs can be used for anything beyond meals. They could just be used for whatever, but for this particular one with a meal thing, you could share this to other groups that person was involved in, things like that, maybe their community group or a service group or things like that. You've got your advanced options, same as before, but in this you have these service opportunities because this is a need. Now, a service opportunity is going to promote this to the service opportunity page. So if you click this, it would allow other people to see this need and contact the group leader to see if they could take part as well. It doesn't allow them to volunteer for stuff right out of the gate, but it does surface that need so that they can see it. Again, we have our add a file and who can see this. So if we post this, you can see how this comes up. We've got all of our information. We've got unfollow, feature, our options up here. We could just check on this and then it would be filled by you. If you do choose to assign to someone, that's fine. It will actually send them an email and ask them, hey, are you able to do this? Once they confirm, then it will come in as confirmed. So that's the basics on content creation. The last one that we have here are albums. And albums are a little bit unique in that you just create a album and you give it a little bit of information. And when you post this, you can now add photos to it. So you just click add, you upload an image, and then you just kind of jump in and start uploading. Now remember, there is a 2 MB max for each image, and you can choose multiple images to upload by shift clicking. So this is great for, kind of potluck night, share pictures, things like that. So that is content creation. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to contact us on the Builders site, and we hope that you have wonderful experience with content at your church, and it brings people together and allows them to live life as a family of believers.